I recently made a video about a pattern I found troubling among some NRIs in the US, especially Hindu Indians. In the US, many Hindu Indians supported liberal policies on immigrants, minority rights, and inclusion. But when it comes to India, some of the same people support BJP and PM Modi, whose politics has often been antagonistic towards minorities. In India, Hindus are the majority. In the US, Hindu Indians become a minority. So the same person can support minority rights when they are in a minority position, but much more less sympathetic to minority rights when their own group is dominant. That is the hypocrisy I was pointing to. As expected, there was pushback. Some people said that this is not hypocrisy. They said Hindu Indians are simply responding to different contexts. In other words, the argument was that there is no deeper contradiction here. It is just politics changing with location. So today, I want to take that objection seriously and move to another piece of research that shows the hypocrisy of Hindus in India. This paper is about caste-based hate crimes in India. It shows how inequality within dominant caste groups can shape crimes against scheduled castes and how the police and courts respond to those crimes. And I think this paper helps us see something important: the moral bankruptcy of the way people behave when their own group holds power. The paper is called Within Group Inequality and Caste-Based Crimes in India, and it is forthcoming in the Journal of Economic Behavior and Organization. The main argument is when inequality rises within dominant Hindu groups, meaning non-SC, ST Hindus, wealth and influence becomes concentrated in the hands of a smaller elite. These elites then become better placed to influence institutions like the police and the judiciary. Now, this influence does not benefit only the elites. Poorer members of the same caste group can also free ride on it. Think of a local powerful man who's known to have links with the police, local officials, or the courts. People from his caste may feel that going to him is more useful than going through formal institutions directly. So the institution is still formally the state, but socially it starts working through caste power. The researchers used state-level data from India between 2005 and 21. What they find is that when inequality within dominant Hindu group rises, registered crime cases against scheduled castes go down. But this should not be read as a simple decline in caste violence. In their argument, police registration itself is a key sign of institutional power. A case is registered only after pressure and counter-pressure between the SC victim and the non-SC perpetrator. So when dominant caste groups have greater influence over the police are less likely to register the complaint in the first place. It actually shows that the dominant caste power has become strong enough to stop complaints before they become cases. They also look at the second stage, what happens after a case is registered. Here too, they find that higher inequality within dominant Hindu groups is linked to a lower chance that those registered cases lead to punishment. So the problem is not only at the stage of filing the complaint, it also appears later in charge sheeting and conviction. And when they separate dominant groups into upper castes and OBCs, the results seem to be driven especially by upper castes, including forward castes and Brahmins. The researchers also ask the opposite. What happens when inequality rises within the SC group itself? Do we see the same pattern? Their answer is no. They do not find a strong effect. Their explanation is that SC political mobilization in India is often fragmented. It is not always the entire SC block mobilizing together. It is often specifically upwardly mobile subgroups such as Jatavs, Mahars, and others that become politically active. So inequality within the whole SC category may not translate into the same kind of institutional influence that inequality within upper caste does. Now, what this paper shows is deeply worrying. In the last 2 decades in India, as inequality has risen, wealth and influence have become concentrated in the hands of a few people. And that influence appears to show how institutions like police and courts respond to caste-based crimes. Their wealth and caste power have also helped them capture institutions. And once that happens, formal law starts to matter less. The police may not register complaints, courts may not punish perpetrators, and people who commit hate crimes may feel they can get away with it. There is a saying in Hindi, jiski lathi uski bhains. Roughly, it means that the person with power controls the outcome. And this is exactly the danger here. We are moving towards a society where the law on paper says one thing, but social power decides what actually happens. This is the opposite of what a healthy society should look like. Ideally, people with influence should use that influence to strengthen institutions and protect the vulnerable. But what we are seeing here is the opposite. Influence is being used to weaken institutions, deepen caste power, and escape accountability. And let's be honest, a society that is so polarized, so hypocritical, and so willing to let hate crimes go unpunished cannot seriously imagine itself becoming a developed society. Development is not just highways, airports, and GDP numbers. Development also means that the weakest person can go to the police and expect the law to work. If that basic trust collapses, then the whole story of progress becomes a joke. Thank you so much for joining me on Devil Wears Data. I'll see you next time with another important idea.